welcome you and say thank you for coming for this chat. It's actually a chat, not like a webinar or like a seminar, just a chat. And we're going to be learning so much this evening from this chat because we are bringing a real life situation. You're going to be listening to someone's story and how the person has been able to thrive in our business in Canada. And so we just want to learn from each other, and that's why we are here. By way of introduction, let me just start by saying my name is Oluwadamilola. You can call me T for Tolu. That's what my dad used to call me. Unfortunately, it's late now, so I'm holding tight to that name. So call me T for Tolu. Yeah. So, and the reason why we're having this conversation is because I started having this yearning and this burning in my heart about, because I'm actually very new in Canada, in like 6-7 months. But when I came, of course, I'm working now. I've gotten a job, but I just know that this job is not all there is to being in Canada. I've seen what it takes to work. I've seen how the income is like and what it will take for me to be able to fulfill all my dreams if I need to fulfill them in Canada. It will not depend on this one job that I'm doing. It probably will be on several jobs, right? And so I'm like, okay, why don't I, instead of taking a second job, why don't I concentrate my energy on my business, right? That can be my second job. That can be my side also. I can make income. And the good thing about it is that I've learned that there's minimal tax on such revenue, on such income. And that's what brought me to this. As in, that's why we're here today, just so that we know what it takes to start a business in Canada, how to thrive with that business. And we're going to be listening to someone that has a real life story to tell us about how to thrive with your business in Canada. So I'm going to be putting our business in the chat, like the link to our page. I'm going to be putting it in the chat so you can go check and see what she's doing in Canada already. I'll drop it in a moment. That's by way of introduction. Please, I want us to start dropping our name and location. We just need to have an idea who we are talking with. Even though if you don't want to share your face, no problem. No worries, like we say in Canada. No worries. Just drop your name and location. And I'm going to be sharing with you the link to our page in a bit. Yeah, I can see Osir from Winnipeg, Stephen from Winnipeg, Shay from Winnipeg. Wow, it's a Winnipeg affair. We have Jennifer from Ontario, Olamide from Winnipeg, Aisha from Winnipeg. Welcome, Odupe, you're welcome. Thank you for making it to this meeting. I'm dropping the link to our guest page. You can go with your eyes. And we're going to be starting just in like 3 minutes. I'm going to introduce her and she's going to start a story. So we put out a form for people to drop their questions, and we had a number of questions. And I'm just going to be talking about what those questions were centered on, because we saw that some questions were being repeated, like they centered on the same topic. And so I've given her what the questions that you want to ask her, and she's going to be talking based on that. So some of the questions: how to register your business in Canada. That's generally how to register your business in Canada. Then steps to take to register a food business. So now, not just business generally or business name, but if you're going to be going into food, what are the steps you need to take to register your food business in Canada? Also, can one prepare food from home? Someone wants to know, okay, I want to start small. I want to start my food business. Can I start from my kitchen? Can I start preparing and supplying people from my kitchen? I'm sure our guest has a lot of story to tell in that regard. The same person wants to know that, okay, can someone make use of commercial kitchen in preparing the food, and just to weigh the options that she has, right? And how to get access to government grants. Also, how can one operate a food business without registering a company? So we're going to be looking at the question: is it compulsory that I register my business? Can I just do it without registering? And we want to see the downsides to that, if there are any advantages and disadvantages. And so I'm going to be introducing our guests for this evening. Is our one and only CEO, the Flawless Cuisine, Toronto, Canada. She's a wife, a mother to children. She started a business way back in Nigeria, and she came and she actually came and started working, but she just felt like, no, I'm going to pursue my dream in Canada. And so I have on the floor this evening. Please make welcome Flawless Cuisine, the CEO for Flawless Cuisine, Mrs. Lola Adeniji.
Thank you so much for having me. It's a great privilege to be here, and I'm thankful for choosing me to be a part of this. So, like she said, my name is Oluwadamilola Adeniji, and my friends and customers, clients call me Madam Flawless. So, and I moved to Canada about 5 years ago, to be precise, 2017. And I used to have a food business back home where I catered to corporate clients, corporate organizations for daily lunch and executive meals. So moving to Canada, a new environment, and as a food business owner, doing all the numbers in Nigeria, when you have an event for corporate events, we used to cater for about a corporate event to have 2,000 staff to feed on a particular Saturday, or even maybe, the end of the year parties is really very, very, massive. So moving to Canada, we moved to Canada 2017, and we started off in a 2-bedroom apartment in North York. Myself and a corporate event will have 2,000 staff to feed on a particular Saturday, or even maybe, the end of the year parties is really very, very, massive. So moving to Canada, we moved to Canada 2017, and we started off in a 2-bedroom apartment in North York. Myself and a corporate event will have 2,000 staff to feed on a particular Saturday. My 2 sons, then I have 3 children now, but then when we came, we just took myself, my husband, and 2 boys. So I started out with a customer service job, which I'll wake up, drop off the boys at daycare, and off with the bus, because we could only afford just 1 car. And my husband was working in downtown Toronto, where he had to take the car to the bus, to the train station, drop the car, and then, so I had to sort the boys. So, okay, let me just start with my story. I'm just giving a background of how it started. So I worked for about a month, where it was a struggle every morning to wake up to go to work, because I wasn't enjoying it. And I'll come back home, oh, my body aches and all of that. And my husband will ask me, did you just sat down at work to make calls or to talk to customers? And why is your body aching? I couldn't give an answer. So after some time, but he will say, but when you are making food, you can stand all day. And at the end of the day, you are still happy, bubbly and all of that. That if you're not enjoying this, then maybe you should start your food business. Is it okay to say the story, or okay? So, and okay. So at least we could all relate to how, moving in from where you are so comfortable to a place where you're just starting out and all of that. So I started from the church. I didn't do any flyer or anything. I just used word of mouth. Oh, I make food. I can cook this. I can cook that. And someone just said, let's try your food. And then the first meal I made was jollof rice. I made jollof rice in a small 2-liter bowl. It's a small one that we could just eat at a sitting at home for dinner or something. And I took it to church. And the person so this is really nice. So the next Sunday, the church I attended then used to make Sunday lunch for people who moved in from the US at that time. There were a lot of people moving in from the US from at the time, that was 2017. And people moving from the US, you know, they had to take them to shelter and all of that, and they miss Nigerian food. So I started making food for church on Sundays. And I remember one particular Sunday, I had to make this jollof rice for the church. And I started blending just to meet up with church and the food. I started blending peppers about 2 a.m. And at 2 a.m., and I was using a Ninja blender. 2 a.m., I heard a knock on our door. Remember, I used to live in a 2-bedroom apartment. And I looked at the pigeonhole and I saw that it was the security. I was scared. Like, what did I do? What happened? And I opened the door. Excuse me, may I help you? And he said that he got a report that I was disturbing the neighbors. That my blender is disturbing them. If I have to make anything, I have to do it. I have to consider the people around me. I'm like, this is my apartment and I can do anything I want to do. I'm paying for this, you know. And he said, no, it doesn't work that way. Like, this is you have to consider your neighbors as well. So, and that gave me, you know, a flag that I have to be very, very careful. So I didn't know the route. Remember, I'm just new. I didn't ask anybody any question. I was just doing my thing. And the next time, so what I did was anything I had to do during the day in my prep and all of that, so that I won't blend in the middle of the night. And that was how I started. So we moved from that place to a 3-bedroom or a 4-bedroom a 4-bedroom semi-detached after like a year or two. And in my mind, remember, I have not registered my business. I was just doing, you know, word of mouth, talking to people. And once in a while, the number, it wasn't a lot. So I could still, you know, do this from the house. So we moved there, and after a month, I started getting a lot of orders, because from one order to the other, word of mouth referral, oh, who made this rice? Who made this food? Is this person? Is this person? So people started ordering. So at some points, I couldn't make food, that quantity or volume of food from my kitchen anymore. So and it was getting to summer. So I started making it outside. You know, I bought this little camp gas where I could put a big pot on. And I had one neighbor. So one particular day, somebody recorded me and sent it to the city that was cooking large volume of food from the house. And thankfully, by the time I finished, I'd cleared up, you know, at then you won't see anything relating to food in my house. Like, everything was, you know, clean and nicely placed. So when they came, they didn't see anything, and I just kept quiet. Like, I didn't know, you know, it wasn't something, it wasn't right to do that. So that gave me a red flag to go check the licenses and the regulation governing food business in Canada. So that's a short story. I had to cut it. I had to cut it short. And I would advise that if anybody wants to start a food business in Canada, please start. You can, you know, start making it from a commercial kitchen. So from there, after that, I moved to a commercial kitchen. So I will break all that down, you know, during the course of the conversation. So that's just a short story. I hope that will be able to inspire someone or, caution you in quotes to the rules and regulation governing how to start a food business in Canada.
Okay, yeah, thank you so much. That's quite interesting. And so I think that will bring us to the next question. At what point did you register the business? What did it take? What are the steps to registering?
Okay,
Did you
so
get any certification and all that?
Google is my friend, and I always tell my children, Google is your friend. So for things I didn't have any answers to, I just go to Google, how to register a food business in the city I was in, Brampton, how to register a food business in Ontario, how to do food business in Canada. So I Googled, and at least you will have a few. You might not really get all the details at that point, but at least it be something close to what you should be able to guide you, like a guide to what's the right thing to do. So I Googled, and thankfully I was able to get one or two information. But for now, if anybody wants to start or register a food business, I would advise to go through an accountant or a lawyer, because I did it all by myself. And 4 years down the line, when we wanted to get a commercial property, we had to go back to what we registered to make some adjustments. So if you're just, if you are planning to just do it on a small scale, you just want to, do it as a side hustle, yeah, then you can do the registration on the CRA website. You can register, it will ask for your SIN, it will ask for your last tax and all of that. And you can just put it in, and then your business name. If you're doing a business name search, it will, for example, if you Google, if you put in Flawless Cuisine, it will say, oh, this is an existing business by this so person, and it was registered a particular time. Do you understand? So with that will be able to guide you. But from my experience, 5 years or 4 years down the line, after I did my registration, I would advise that you should get a professional. You can go through your accountant, or you can go through a lawyer to do a proper registration for your business.
Okay, thank you. I think quite a number of the questions have been answered.
Okay.
In terms of, can you cook from home?
No.
You can, but there are
yes,
downsides
you don't
to
want
it,
to.
right?
Yes,
you don't want to
yes,
face that. Then
yes.
the commercial kitchen, is it affordable? How can
Okay.
someone access it?
Okay, so what, just like I said, that Google is my friend. So I just used to search commercial kitchen near me, commercial ghost kitchen near me, and how to access. So I found so many. Some would not allow you to make our kind of food because we handle a lot of meats and all of that. Some will say, oh, it's a kosher kitchen, like there's some particular things you can't do. And you have to have insurance for about 2 million liability insurance for you to be able to use a commercial kitchen. So with that, you have to be registered. You have to have your business registered. Then you have to have your insurance before you can access a commercial kitchen. Because if anything happens, they want to be able to link you. And then so for me, I registered as incorporation. So because with that, you are not your business, right? It's an incorporation. And you can also start with a sole proprietorship. It depends on how you want the structure or the niche you want your business to, the way you want to run your business. But I did incorporation, and I was able to then I did for 2 million liability insurance, and my monthly premium was about then was about $60 something. So it's not, so that I factor in to the cost of the business. So, and then the question you asked is Is it readily available? So for a commercial kitchen that I started using then, started with $20 per hour. We used to pay per hour. So I'll book ahead for like a month. I'm booking maybe, let's say, 100 hours in a month. I will have paid ahead of time. And anytime I come, just like the way you clock in when you go to work, I clock in, immediately I come, I move in my things. Remember, if you might get access to storage, and there's a limit to what you can take to the commercial kitchen. So my car was a moving kitchen, in quotes. I had several things, dry stuff in my car because it involved me loading and offloading all my utensils, my pots, my dry things, and then there was a storage for cold things like the freezer and all of that. So it was really, really energy sapping, so to say. And then for it to be worth it for me, I had to do the volume, because imagine just going to a commercial kitchen to cook just one tray of jollof rice. A tray of jollof rice would take me about, from scratch, where I don't have anything, I don't have any prep done, it would take me 4 hours. From, how our food is, if you want to go through the right process, you're not cutting any corners, you want to take your time to, cook it properly. At least to make that, it would take me 4 hours. So what I used to do is, I would I use my Instagram account and my WhatsApp status to send out broadcasts. Oh, for this so day, I'll be making this and this and that, and then people would send in their orders. And I when I was using the commercial kitchen, I just recently had my last baby, so I would take her to daycare in the morning, drop her off about 7:30, and then move into the commercial kitchen about 8. So I had between 8 to 4:30. So anything I had to do, I would do grocery, I would cook, I would clean, and at the same time, I had my family to attend to as well. And I was doing it every day, Monday to Saturday. The only days I don't cook is on Sunday. And, the cost of renting the commercial kitchen was roughly, in a month, with the number of hours I used there, it was about $2,000 monthly, thereabouts. And I just used to do my numbers from my statement of accounts, how much I spent on groceries to make the food, the number of hours I paid myself. And I had to, because I was putting a lot of work, and I had to see the benefit of what I was doing, if it was worth it. So that was a testing ground for me to be able to see if if I scale up, if I hire people, the quantity I'll be able to, the volume I'll be able to do, and will it eventually be worth it? Initially, it was challenging, I would say. It wasn't easy, because I was the only one doing everything. I would wash, I would cook, I would deliver, and people would pick up. I was doing marketing and and all of that. So for a business, starting a business in Canada wasn't as easy, especially for food, because back home we had people you can call the prep cooks to make this, to make that. But here, before you can hire, you have to be able to do a certain volume, because if you're just cooking a certain number, it might not worth it. So for me, it was a matter of my goals, my targets, my monthly, my weekly. I had daily targets. For today, I want to be able to make about 10 liters of 2 liters of soup. I want to make 10 trays of jollof rice. some days I used to meet the target, some days I don't, some days, you know, the orders just keep coming. And some days I made mistakes. So some days I'm so much under pressure to deliver at a certain time because, you know, I had to pick my daughter from the daycare. I had to, you know, I had to put in so much work and at the same time attention to details so that I don't mess up people. I had to cook food that was delicious and safe at the same time. That if this person is coming to me for the first time, if you eat this food, you want to come back. There are days that, you know, I'm so much under pressure to make it right that I make mistakes. That I had to start all over again. And there are days that, you know, I had preps done and it was just smooth, you know, and all of that. So I would, it's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot. And, you know, handling all of this, you know, it's now I can tell the story, right?
Yeah.
There's so many.
I actually wanted to ask, you know, I've seen you quite a number of times, maybe on through your videos on WhatsApp and on Instagram, that you're the only one in the kitchen and you have a huge volume to take care of.
Yes.
And I'm like, yeah, one man will pull. Like, how do you achieve that? Of course, you can't hire at this stage, but you have volumes to do. So what is the process for you? How do you make sure that you're able to meet up with deadlines? Okay, like you need to cater for a particular people and they have to pick it up at a particular time, and you are the only one in the kitchen. And we're talking about volume, feeding about. So like what's the maximum of, as in the highest number of people you have catered for, like in an event, or like is it like 500 or 1,000? What's the highest number? Let's start from there.
Okay,
Then
so
how
for
are you
the
able to
highest,
achieve it by yourself, being the only one in the kitchen?
okay, so the highest number I've done only by myself is for about 200. Yes, that's and for that, but that depends. A particular Saturday, I cooked 2 bags of rice. You know this par excellence.
Yeah.
Yes, the big one. Yes. So in one bag you can get about how many coolers? You know, I know. Don't let me go into all that detail. So I did about like 18 trays of the large tray of I made it. So one big pot can, for me, my own big pot can do 4 trays. So and that's a cooler.
How
A
many
cooler of
people can a
jollof rice.
tray? How many people can a tray feed?
So a tray can do, if it's a buffet, the tray can do about 28, 30. But if 25, 30,
And you did 18,
thereabout.
18 of that.
Yes. So
Okay.
if you are doing buffet, that's 25. If it's a buffet, 25, 30. But if you are dishing it in like a takeout plate, it's about 18.
Okay.
So, and a particular Saturday, I did about 18 of those long ones and then small ones and all of that. That's
Okay.
about.
So if you need to get if you need to cater for like 1,000 or 500, I don't know if you've ever done that. How were you able to accomplish it? Did you get extra hands? How much did you pay? We just want to know the nitty-gritty.
Oh, okay.
And say, okay, oh, if somebody gets an order, oh, supply 2,000 people. So
okay.
you need to hire people for days or for per hour. How are you going to pay them?
Okay, so for that volume, it's all about planning, and preparation would have started days ahead, you know, days before the event. So and maybe for me, all the food, making a delicious food, start from your list. So if I'm making food if I'm making some certain delicacy or dish for a particular event, it starts from my list. If I miss something out from that, it can ruin the entire planning. So it's all about attention to details, planning from groceries to prepping to the cooking and then the actual event.
Okay, what about the extra hands you get? How do you pay them?
Okay, so the extra hands I get, I do part-time. If I have volume, I have just, you know, I have some people who work with me full-time now, but for when I have large orders and events, I hire by the numbers of, you know, the quantity of what what I have to make. For example, I know how many hours it will take me to cook a certain amount of food. So I know that if somebody is coming to work with me and I'm in the kitchen, I know that, I will do 10 hours, 12 hours, thereabouts, and we will be able to achieve it. So I'll need maybe 3, 2, 4, 5, 6, depending on the quantity of things I'm making or the nature of the event. So, and I pay minimum wage. I can still afford to pay. I can only afford to pay minimum wage at this time.
Okay.
I'm hoping that, when the business.
And that's how much? Toronto, how much?
That's $15.
Whoa.
Yes,
Nice.
$15 per hour. So if someone is doing 10 hours, I'm doing 150, right? So, and with the government.
That sounds good.
Yes, with the government tax and all of that, all you have to include that as well if the person is, a full-time staff.
So does that reflect in your, okay, so when you're filing your taxes,
yes,
it shows that
course.
you're paying your employer of labor. Wow,
yes,
awesome.
Yes.
Okay, so recently I saw that you catered for an event by, is it the Bells or Bell? I don't know what to call it. So the Bell, is it the Bell? That's
Bell Canada, yes.
Bell Canada. And I'm like, whoa, Bell Canada is using Flawless Cuisine for their event. And I was like, what? Congratulations.
How did I get here?
How did you get here? Like, how did you get here? Right? As in, this is like, now you're no longer catering for the Nigerian market. Now, this is Canada, NaijaBusiness Hub. Like, we want to equip ourselves to the world, right? We don't need to service Naija, but we are NaijaBusiness. We are equipping ourselves. We are giving ourselves resources, information, so that we can scale our business and be recognized in Canada. And that is what I see that you've achieved. I saw that you cater for them. I saw a white lady giving review. I've already posted your link in the chat. If you want to check our page on Instagram, I think she pinned that to our page, and you see quite a number of things that are fascinating on our page. So you can please click on it and check our page, right? And so I want to ask, how did you get Bell to how did you get Bell to like to contract their job? You handled what? The Black
History Month
event for Bell Canada. In
Toronto. The opening ceremony.
Yeah, awesome. Please share the story.
So I would say that since I started Flawless Cuisine in Canada, I haven't I've not done any sponsored ads or thereabouts. My clientele and customers are based on word of mouth referral. And when someone in a group asks, oh, I need a caterer in Ontario or in a certain location, people would just refer me, oh, check Flawless, oh, she's reliable, oh, she does this, oh, she can make that, and she makes delicious food and all of that. So the Bell event came as a result of a word of a referral from a group who a staff of Bell is in. So when she asked, oh, can I get a Black-owned business caterer? Not more than 1, 2, 3 people referred me. Wow. And she came, oh, she didn't even come as Bell. She just came as normal clients. Oh, can you give me a quote for so number of guests for an event, this and that? And I sent the quotes. And after like a week, she came back to say that, oh, we've considered, you are considered to be the official caterer for this event. Please, can you resend the quotes with the name of, and all that process and all of that. Wow. And it was, and that was it. Okay,
so I want to ask, what qualified you for the job, apart from the word of mouth? I know that when you're dealing with a company, individual are fine, you can do word of mouth, but there must have been some certain criteria, like the company were like, oh, okay, As in she going to poison us, kind of. You get? So what made them to be very confident, like
Okay.
they're able to eat from your hand, right?
Okay. So
Like because that goes back to the certification. So I just want to
yes.
tie the two together. Were there certifications you got that made them to be confident that they can outsource this business to you?
Okay, so my number one, they asked me to for my business license, for inspected kitchen certificates, insurance, and all that, for you to be able to cater to corporate organization, you have to have all that. So my business is licensed and insured.
Okay.
And I have the food handlers, the smart save, and all that certification. And I have background working. So back to the story I said earlier, in the process of cooking and asking questions, Googling and all of that, I used to Google food, cooking classes near me, cooking, different things that has to do with cooking. And I was, there was a program I qualified for, like to just, it was newcomer kitchen program or something like that, just to equip new immigrants in the food business or food, people who had flair or passion for food. And that program, unfortunately, I was rejected. But I met all the criteria. And when I got back to them, I wrote a mail, I sent it back, and I was told, because I was living in a particular location, it was far away. So I told them, see, if you can trust me with this, then leave the distance to me. And then I used to drive about an hour and a half to get to but it was on a weekly training. So I did that training. I understood, I worked in the kitchen, I understood the process to make Canadian meals, what the expectation is for that. So with all of that, so catering to the corporate organization was really very smooth, because I knew, what was expected of me when I was sending out my menu. So
Okay.
I'm
So,
sure
so
that
this success story for me, it's a combination of doing your due diligence, of
yes,
first registering your company, getting certifications that you need, because if you didn't have that certification, I'm not sure girl would
probably
do that
yes.
job, right? Then you have the required training to like how to cater for other people in Canada, not just the Nigerian
Yes,
market, and that
yes.
really helped you. And that is really quite inspiring. So I just think what it speaks to me is that we just need to do our due diligence. We need to do
Yes.
the needful. Don't just dabble into things, research. Like she said, Google is your friend. Ask questions on Google and you get enough resources. Well, of course, on the platform, we're going to be sharing a lot of resources, right? We just started and we are pulling people together, people that have experience, people that have stories to share, people that worked certain parts in diverse business in Canada, want them to come and share their story on this platform. And that is what it's all about. So you can actually help us to propagate our gospel, share the link and let people join. And if you know people who can share, the people that are already exhausted, people that it's not like they're already exhausted because we are a work in
When
progress,
work in
right?
progress.
Yeah, so but we can all work together holding our hands. And what actually inspired this group was the fact of the kind of information I got while I was working on coming to Canada. I was in diverse groups on Telegram. We all know that, all the PMP group, the EE Express Entry group, all the even provincial ones, and we're getting quite a number of information that helped us at every stage of our journey. And now we are here in Canada. And I just feel like if we can do this for our journey to Canada, we can do this for our businesses. If we can get the right information, we can get people to hold our hands, supply the right information at every stage of our we can make a success of our stay in Canada by establishing our business and surviving and thriving in them. And that is the story that Madam Flawless has shared with us. One last question before I
Okay.
let you go. And maybe people won't ask questions before, I don't know. I'm not really paying attention to the time before the thing times out, right? Um, Access to grants. I've learned that small business have access to grants. What is your experience in this regard?
Okay. So for my experience, um, thankfully before COVID, my business was registered, and food business was really affected during that time, and I had access to the Ontario grant for food business. For I benefited.
And that was because you were registered. So if you were
Yes,
doing it on your kitchen and you were not registered, you
yes.
wouldn't have had access to the
No,
grants.
no.
Okay,
People who had, had their business, running their business and were not registered, they were just doing it all by themselves, not officially registered. It was too late. It was too late for them to, at that time. So I would say that even if you're going to declare zero revenue or zero tax, just make sure that your business is registered. And with that, you can get access to so many things with the government. So right now, I also benefited with a program called Digital Main Street, and where it is linked with Google, with so many other company, where someone contacted me to design my website, all for free, and all paid by the government of Canada or Ontario. So those are the things and the criteria is for you to have a registered business. You send in your registration, your business number, you send in your location, you send in your name, I think a license, like your driver license or your passport or something, and then they verify that you are either a PR, Canadian, or thereabout. And from there, you get access to all these trainings, marketing materials, and all of that. I've benefited from this, and as a result of me searching what is available to me around me, things I love free, government, because
we understand. Okay, yeah. So, um, um, okay, the link you were the website we are talking about. Is it possible that you provide us with the link?
oh yes,
Yeah,
I
so we're
can.
going to drop it in the group. I'm going to drop the group link for anyone that's not on the group. You can join the group now.
So
And so after this time, we're going to be dropping. She's going to be dropping the link and some other resources. I have a number of questions here. One says, how does she get the people to join her? I guess it's talking about when you need extra hands. How do you source for extra hands to join you in the kitchen or probably in serving in your events?
Okay, so
And maybe I should say all the three questions because I don't know when this is going to go up. And the second one says, how does she do a costing for small quantity of food? Like for it to make sense, how do you cost? If somebody was, oh, I want a tray, I just want to share with my friends. How do you cost for that, right? Putting 4 hours to do a tray doesn't make sense, right? So how do you cost for that? Then another person said by registered business, can it just be business name? Now, I wanted to ask that too, like having access to grants. What if you just registered a business and we still have access to the grants? And somebody said, will it be safe for one to register and still cook from home kitchen? Four questions.
okay,
I don't know if you can remember, but the
okay,
first one says, how do you get people that join you? The other one says, how do you cost for small quantity of food? Another say, can it just be business name that you register to have access to grants and other benefits? And the last one is, will it be safe for one to register and still cook from your home?
okay. So I'll start with the first one. How do I get people to hire for events? So when I have events, I have a link of people who are in groups where I belong. People say, "Oh, I'm new. I'm looking for a certain kind of job." I don't I don't I don't wait till when I need the people before I start looking for. So when I'm in a group and someone says I'm looking for a job or I'm looking for this, I contact the people. I contact them. Oh, are you open to this kind of work? I have a kitchen. I have this, and I test them before. Like, can you come to the kitchen to work for 3 hours? Are you open to having, you know, do a certain kind of thing, some certain kind of things, and all of that? Because kitchen work food business is physical. It's physically demanding, where you have to lift, you have to carry, you have to bend, you have to move. And when, the heat, when you're in the heat of meeting deadlines, it could be very crazy. Like you are dashing. Some days I on my what, I count 20,000 steps. Some days I'm on my foot for about 20 hours, back to back, maybe just take a nap and you're up again. In my head, when I remember you have to deliver so number of food, I'm up. And then, so that's what I do. I look for people ahead before I need them. I hope I've been able to answer that. So the second question is,
how do you cost for small quantity of food?
Okay, so initially, I wasn't making any profits. I will give a story to back that up. If
you might be shut down. Maybe people will join.
Okay, let me leave that. But it is a good story to share, though.
Oh, share
but
now.
let me leave it. So one day, the first order I got on Instagram was from someone that was living in. I was in North York. The person's address says Brampton, and the person said, "Can you deliver?" I said, "Yes, I can deliver." I can deliver. So, and I didn't even check the distance. I didn't do anything. I just said, "How much is delivery?" I just said, maybe like $20. And the person only ordered something worth $120. So everything with the delivery was $150 with the food. So that particular day, it just 2-liter bowl of jollof rice and something about 5 years ago. And I took off. I made the food by 12 noon. I took off. I took the food. I remember we only had one car. So I took the train, the public transport. I left North York about 12 noon. I didn't get to Brampton until about 4:30 or 5 or thereabouts. I got back home about 10:30 to 11 that day. And remember, I only charged $20 or $30 for the delivery. It wasn't worth it. But that one customer, Kai, has been loyal and has brought in thousands of dollars. So let me leave it at that.
Okay. So
costing for food, little quantity initially. If you look at it, it might not, what's your time. But you have the goal. Because just cooking small tray, if you say you should cost for your time, you won't even look at it. But as a small business, you might not, it's already factored into your business plan that for you to break even, it will take a certain, period of time for you to be able to make a profit. So after then and all, the volume started coming.
Yeah, quickly. Say that. The business name, can we just do business name? We need to do incorporation and all that.
Yeah, I think you can actually do a business name. You can
and
do
the
a
government
business
will recognize
search.
You.
Yes, you can do a business search. You can get your facts, but I think you start by doing a business name search.
Okay.
Then with that, you can.
When you register,
yes, and then you
business
can
name,
and then fine. You can now incorporate.
So you have access to grants. You have access to any benefits that is meant for small businesses.
So I think with the business name, you can even open a bank account as long as with that business name you are able to, and is registered business name. With that registration, you can use that to have a bank account. Okay. So with your bank account, you can have, they can see your numbers, the way people, send you money in and out and all of that. And with that, because at some point we were asked to submit our bank statement at some point for us to be able to access some grants during that COVID, just to know, just for them to have not just looking at your numbers, they just want to know that you are running a business and that people are paying you, you are, buying things, or money is flowing in and out of your account.
Awesome. We have just 10 minutes before this time out, and I don't think we should, because children are returning to school tomorrow. Okay. And so we need to prepare. Like the last question say, would it be safe for one to register and still cook from home kitchen? And after this time, I want one or two people to unmute themselves and give a feedback or just say something about this session, right? So just the last question, and then we have that.
Okay, the last question again, please.
The last question is, will it be safe for one to register and still cook from home kitchen? I'm sure the person was not here when you were sharing about your experience, right?
Oh, okay.
How your neighbors
I
can
wouldn't,
report you for cooking,
yes. And especially if people come to your
especially if you are
front
cooking your
door,
father's too.
yes, cooking your father, and then the fire alarm goes off, and it keeps coming up all the time. It's not something really nice, so to say. And again, if you are people are coming in and out of your apartment or your building or your house to pick up food, drop off coolers and all of that. Those are the things that you are already showing people that you are doing a food business from home. So I wouldn't advise that. If you are starting out, you can start with register your business, get your insurance, get a commercial kitchen, and start. So to say, it might not be as easy as it is, but that's the right step or process to take.
Awesome. Thank you so much. So who wants to build the cat? I want people to talk. You can unmute yourself, show your face, and ask questions or give a feedback. And what do you think has not been talked about or something like that? Is anyone raising their hand? You just raise
Hello,
your
good
hand.
evening. Oh, okay.
Okay, yeah. Continue, please.
Yeah, good evening. My name is Titi. And I'm here I joined from Winnipeg, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. First of all, I must commend the organizers.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so much for an informative session, right? And also to I can't remember her name now. She
Madam
mentioned that.
Flawless.
Yeah, Madam Flawless. Yeah. Thank you
Damilola
for
Adeniji.
Yeah, Oluwadamilola Adeniji. Yeah, thank you for the insightful thoughts that you have given to us. Thank you for opening up, as in the way you were answering the questions, the way you were um, giving us your own experience and all. I began to I began to think about it that I say Nigerian because I'm new here in Canada. I'm about 3 months here, and the experience has been Nigerians, they keep information from you. Nobody wants you to do this and all. But you have just opened up yourself, as in you've just given us. I'm sure if you have time, you even break down. You give us a breakdown when the customer comes, you charge them this, you do this, and all of that. I know that if time permits, that's one thing that you'd have done. Thank you so much. This program has just been as in, I just ran into this into the notification for the meeting today, and I said, no, I must join this because it has been on my mind to start something like this in Canada. Thank you so very much. You have given us a whole lot of information in just a short time. Thank you. God bless you. And I pray that as you have watered a lot of us that are on this platform now, the Lord will continue to multiply all
Amen.
that concerns you in
Amen.
Jesus' name. Thank you so very
Thank
much.
you.
God
Thank
bless
you.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. That's an awesome feedback. Do we still have people that want to talk? Feedback, questions? Have you gained anything? What did you gain? Do you want to share what did you gain on this session? Because this is actually encourage us and motivate us to plan more sessions. We're going to be looking at other businesses. There are dry cleaning businesses in this land. There are people that are into the logistics. So we're going to be bringing quite a number of diverse business people to share. So fashion, I
Hi.
know there's a lot of fashion here. Okay, you have the floor.
Okay, hi. My name is Ojola. Thank you very much for this opportunity. I don't know, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Oh, perfect. Okay, thank you very much for the opportunity. I know I have gained a lot. And also thank you, Damilola, as well for the information that you have passed on today. I would like to confirm how you go about your logistics, because I went through your Instagram page and I saw that you said you deliver Canada wide. So how do you send okay, right now I'm in New Brunswick, Moncton. So if I were to place an order,
Okay.
how do you send it to Moncton, New Brunswick?
Okay. So can I answer that?
Yes, yes, please.
Okay. So I deliver across Canada, Calgary, across and all of that. So what I do is there's I registered with UPS as a business. It still boils down to your business registration, right? So with that, I'm able to ship overnight frozen meals across. So I use these cooler bags, and I use dry ice as well, especially during summer. During winter, it can go, but it's still safe for me to use dry ice with the package that will keep the food frozen till it gets to you. So that's the way. And then for local deliveries around me, I use I got someone who does delivery for me across, where you pay a certain amount, and when there's a volume, instead of you paying the huge amount for a certain kilometer, other people who place order along that route or route will be able to also pay a certain amount. So at the end of the day, it's worth it for the driver.
Thank you.
I hope I've been able to answer that.
Yes, I can see.
Oh, yes, you have. Thank you very much.
Yeah, AG. I saw one, an AG chemist. Yeah, please. We have just like 2 minutes, so be very fast.
Yes, mine is just to say thank you. I truly appreciate all this information. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Flawless Kitchen. Thank you very, very much.
Madam Flawless, thank you.
Welcome. Yeah,
All
welcome.
right.
Good evening.
Thank you, Tolu.
Yeah, good evening. Just before the call goes off, Tessa speaking.
Hello.
Thank you very much. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, thank you very much, Madam Flawless. Please, just before the call goes off, can we talk to you in your DM?
Yeah, she's gonna be in the group. I've posted the link to the group if you're not on the Telegram.
Okay, I didn't get the link for the group because I joined late.
Okay, I'm gonna post it again.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.
Please, do you offer any coaching? We don't mind paying.
Madam Flawless, do you offer?
Yeah, well, I'll talk to you in your DM. So please just accept me.
Yeah, you can talk to her in your DM. Yeah.
I also offer cooking classes, even to Canadians. So that's another niche.
Okay.
Yeah, you can join the Telegram. And one thing that we did not get to talk about on this call is the fact that you've been able to pivot your business such that you are preparing recipe, or what do you call it? The jollof sauce. So if you want to have that jollof experience, she has a jollof sauce she has packaged, well branded. And we did not even talk about the role of branding.
Yes, you did that.
I did the branding.
Yes.
The role of branding. And far and wide in Canada, people are using a jollof sauce to make jollof rice. When I got it in Winnipeg, I was like, when I finished, it was red. It was very
delicious.
Yeah. So she has gone into packaging such that even if she cannot send a cooked jollof rice, you can buy the sauce, just pour it in your pot, put the rice, and you have a flawless jollof rice.
Jollof rice.